Over the last 14 years, I've had the chance to take multiple trips out to Disneyland Park. This is my personal favourite theme park in Europe and is a great place to visit. However, even though the lineup mainly consists of dark rides, they do also have some great coasters, and it was only back in February this year where I got the chance to my first ever ride on Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain. Built back in 1995, this is one of only 15 Vekomas left in the country, and in terms of the appearance, Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain has one of the most plain colour schemes out there. This is due to both the track and also the supports being black, and as much as it doesn't look amazing, due to it being a Disney park, the theming more than makes up for it. It's got a nice entrance style along with a decent station. However, what really surprised me was its facade. This is due to having some nice rock work along with the mountain itself, and I have to say the mountain definitely doesn't disappoint. This is due to having one of the best colour schemes out there. However, once the A gates open, you'll then board the trains, and just like most Vekomas out there, each of its 5 trains can hold a total of 24 riders, and even though it's quite uncommon for a large scale coaster, the least we had to wait was still 15 minutes. However, unlike the track and supports, the trains actually had a really nice colour scheme. This is due to them being blue, gold and also red. Something else to point out was that the trains also had onboard speakers, and I have to say that it made for some of my favourite trains in Europe. However, once you pull down your restraint, you'll realise that the coaster has both the over-the-shoulder restraints and also some comfort collars, and as much as it didn't really bother me throughout the layout, I could definitely feel it pushing down at points. However, if you put this aside, they're still quite comfortable and definitely made for some nice trains. However, in terms of the layout, Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain starts off with a right-hand turn before a pre-drop section, and as much as it's not as great as other pre-drop sections, it was still quite fun. However, next up, the coaster then brings you to a stop, and even though there's not much to look at, the onboard audio more than makes up for it. However, after this, the coaster will then launch you up into the mountain, and what made this element so great was that unlike most launches, it was actually angled upwards. This made for a great effect and definitely fitting well with the theme. However, next up, the coaster will then take you down a twisted drop, and as much as the middle row gave a bit of drag, I definitely felt more force towards the front of the train. But after this, the coaster will then take you into a helix, and apart from some nice projections, the coaster didn't really do anything. However, after this, the coaster will then bring you down another drop, and if you're located towards the front of the train, you can definitely feel the coaster's speed. However, if you're located more towards the back of the train, you can definitely feel some weak airtime. But after this, you'll then head up into the Sidewinder, and I have to say this was definitely better towards the front of the train. This was due to it feeling a lot more forceful, along with it being a bit smoother. However, after this, the coaster then takes a right-hand turn before heading up into the mid-course brake run, and due to the coaster often running 5 trains, this can really slow down the train. However, even this is the case, there's still some nice projections along with the audio itself. However, next up, you'll head down another drop, and just like most of the other drops, if you're located towards the back of the train, you can get some weak airtime. But next up, the coaster will then take you through a corkscrew, and this is definitely one of the more forceful corkscrews I've experienced, and just like the mid-course brake run, you do also pass by some great projections. However, after this, the coaster will then bring you through another helix before heading up into the second mid-course brake run, and even though it slows the train down quite a lot, it definitely doesn't affect the next few elements. This is due to the first of which being a twisted drop, and I have to say this is by far the best drop on the ride. This is due to arguably having one of the best airtime moments on the coaster, along with it just being a great drop. However, after this, the coaster will then take you through my personal favourite element on the ride. This is of course the world's only tongue element, and this is basically a much tighter overbank turn. However, I have to say, as much as the middle was great, I definitely felt a lot more force towards the front. However, next up, you'll then head into another helix, and as much as it wasn't anything amazing, the light tunnel definitely improved it. However, after this, you'll then head up into the final brake run. But in terms of the smoothness, Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain definitely wasn't the smoothest roller coaster. This is due to the trains often having a rattle, along with the track being quite old. However, even though this was the case, I have to say that due to me not finding coasters that rough, it didn't really bother me. But in terms of the pacing, Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain has some of the best pacing in the country, and even though it can slow down quite a lot on the mid-course, the coaster was still running quite fast. However, something else to point out was that Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain definitely warms up throughout the day. As much as the morning rides are still great, you could definitely feel the coaster slowing down at points. However, if you'd like to experience it its full potential, I'd personally recommend experiencing it within its summer months. However, in terms of what road to head to, over the last 2 trips, I've got to experience both the front and also the middle, and even though the middle was still fun, I have to say that the coaster was definitely better on the front. This is due to it feeling a lot more forceful, along with it also having a better sense of speed. But what's my overall opinion on Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain? Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain is my personal favourite roller coaster at Disneyland Park. This is due to having some nice theming, along with it also having some nice inversions. However, what is your opinion on Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain? Make sure to leave any thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one.